Dear ladies and gentlemen, good morning everybody. I would like to welcome you to the digital festival of Everything Passes Except the Past, Alles vergeht außer der Vergangenheit, and say thank you for your interest in our project. This festival marks the end of a 2-year-long research process, and we are very excited to meet, at least virtually, all the wonderful speakers who are going to contribute and discuss with us. Everything Passes Except the Past is the large-scale project of the Goethe-Institut in Belgium that operates in cooperation with the Goethe-Institutes in France, Italy, Portugal, Spain and various other partners such as the Africa Museum Tervuren, Elizalde, Brussels, Museo Ethnologique et des Cultures del Monde, Barcelona, Musée d'Aquitaine, Bordeaux and Kulturgest in Lisbon. It focuses on dealing with the colonial heritage in these countries. At the center of the project is the artistic discursive engagement with the past that remains present in the museums, in the public space and in the picture archives in these countries. For the purpose of Everything Passes Except the Past, we propose an artistic and discursive approach to the residues of colonialism, whether that involves monuments or other traces of colonialism in urban space or popular culture, film archives or artifacts acquired by European museums and collectors during the colonial era under dubious circumstances for the most part. In 2019, we organized 4 different workshops in Brussels, Lisbon, Bordeaux and Barcelona, accompanied by several public events to gather knowledge that is widely scattered. The aim was to get an overview of practices and possibilities and develop a space in which conflicts can be threshed out without the usual automatic formation of rigid fronts. I want to take the advantage of the opportunity to thank everybody who has made this project possible. First of all, the participants at the workshops and all the panelists today for their contributions to the project, also the partners in the different cities. A special thanks goes to our partner, the Fondazione San Rettore Rebaudengo in Turin, which helped us to realize the exhibition and festival despite the difficult circumstances. I also want to thank our colleagues at the Goethe Institutes in Brussels, Lisbon, Barcelona, Bordeaux, Turin and Rome for their support, and a big thank you to the coordinator of the project, Jana Haeckel. Grazie mille for listening. I wish us all an inspiring time. And now I pass on to Turin to Irene Calderoni from the Fondazione San Rettore Rebaudengo. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. I'm Irene Calderoni, curator at Fondazione San Rettore Rebaudengo in Turin. I'm really glad to welcome both the speakers and the audience to this virtual event, even if we obviously regret the opportunity to host you all in real presence in Turin. We had originally conceived this event as a festival that would have offered the opportunity to attend the talks together with the rich program of artistic interventions, screenings and performances, so that the discursive and artistic perspectives could be experienced on a shared platform. The pandemic forced us to review our plans, but still 1 month ago we were able to open the exhibition, which you can see at my back, that is an intrinsic component of this project. Throughout this process of research and exchange, the perspectives of contemporary art have offered us the possibility to address the subjects of today's debates with powerful and unexpected means, with the rigor and yet the freedom to explore sensitive issues and contested sites. With contributions by Bianca Baldi, Alessandra Ferrini, Grace Ndiritu, and the collective Troubled Archives, the exhibition exposes the politics of photographic colonial archives and the potential for subversion and liberation which is deployed by artistic research. I want to thank all the artists for the amazing works they created for the exhibition and look forward to listening to their contributions to the discussions. The workshops which led to this event had a strong international perspective, but also paid attention to the context that hosted them, by taking place inside the very institutions and collections which were the object of the analysis, by engaging the public space which bears the traces of a nation's colonial past, And finally, by making space in the debate for all the practitioners who actively pursue on a daily basis a transformative agenda. This approach also informed today's program, which offers a specific focus on the way Italy's colonial past is addressed and represented, but also puts Italian current situation in a dialogue with experiences and strategies developed in other countries. I hope this will contribute to make the topic more present and relevant in the public opinion in this country, in order to make more space for discussion and open the possibility for a long due work on our difficult heritage. I'm especially glad that among our audience today there are many high school students, because this discussion should not be confined to specialists, and younger generations in particular need to be involved and informed about these issues. Finally, I would like to thank the Goethe Institute for inviting Fondazione Sandretto Rebaudengo to be their partner in this initiative, very important initiative. So we had the opportunity to collaborate over 2 years of intense exchange and to learn from all the amazing experts and practitioners who contributed to this project their knowledge and ideas. Many of them are gathered here, and many others join them for what we hope will be a productive day of debate that can offer perspective and strategies for change. I sincerely hope you will enjoy today's program, and thank you again for your participation.
Good morning from Brussels. Also from my side, a very warm welcome. My name is Jana Haeckel, and I have been over the last 2 years leading the international project Everything Passes Except the Past for the Goethe Institute. When we started with the research in 2018, the discussion on colonial heritage was a different one. Experts and activists who called for the decolonization of museum depots, urban areas, and more generally of mindsets did so from a marginalized position. This has changed, but only recently. The publication of the restitution report by Felwine Sarr and Benedict Savoy has put pressure on ethnological museums, ethnologists, politicians and historians. But it has also shown that good intentions need to follow actions, and that not all promises that were made lead towards a better understanding. The recent protests that followed the assassination of George Floyd show a growing public awareness of racist violence and historic injustice. They have put colonial monuments into the spotlight of political and social debates. The panelists today will address the challenges faced when attempting to decolonize museums, archives, and public space. Their presentations will focus on the question how we could learn from the methodologies of art, critical theory, and activism to provoke politicization and metamorphosis. We have a very dense and varied program ahead. After a keynote lecture by Benedict Savoy, the panel New Museum Practices on the Ethics and Politics of Return will look at the different reactions and strategies that have emanated from the European museums and see to what extent successful restitutions can guide and inspire others. The following panel, Critical Museology, Revisiting Colonial Collections through Artistic and Curatorial Perspectives, will discuss the difficulties that occur when exhibiting colonial objects and discuss the role of the artist as researcher, mediator, and troublemaker. Our third panel, titled A Different Heritage, Rethinking Representations of Italy's Colonial Past, will introduce current research, museographic projects and artistic practices in order to reflect on the need to radically rethink Italian colonialism. The last panel at 6 p.m., Our Statues Must Fall, Conflicts, Iconoclasm in Public Space, will address the heated debate on colonial monuments and look at the fragile role of the activists in a more and more violent climate of identity politics. And if you don't make it through the day, don't worry, we will record the debates and put them on our website afterwards. I would like to sincerely thank all the participants of our festival who are joining us today from Benin, Peru, Italy, Spain, Germany and various other countries. Thank you for dedicating your time to this discussion and sharing your insights and experiences, not only today, but for many of you over the last 2 years. It is now my great honor to introduce Bénédicte Savoy, who will open the festival with a lecture that has a very promising title, Amnesia, 40 Years Debate on African Cultural Heritage in European Museums. Mrs. Savoy is a leading voice, without any doubt, in the current public debate on the history of collecting under imperial and colonial circumstances and issues of restitution. She's professor of modern art history at the Technical University of Berlin and holds the international chair for cultural history of artistic heritage in Europe, 18th to 20th century, at the Collège de France in Paris. Her research is mainly focused on forced transfer of artworks in times of war and during the colonial era. Thank you very much for being here today, Bénédicte Savoy, and sharing your insights with us.